Hello and welcome. Today on the show podcast, we are going to talk with arguably one of the most beautiful campuses in the country and one of the highest level academic athletic programs in the country as well. Located in the Pacific Coast Highway area near Malibu, Pepperdine University head coach Tyler LaTorre. And Tyler, I'm really excited to spend some time with you today.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. Love what you're doing for baseball in general, not just college baseball, but amateur and the professional level too. So I appreciate you having me on and talking everything Pepperdine baseball and baseball in general. So thank you for having me on.
I would love for you to kind of explain. Now, I've walked the campus, I've stood on the field, but what makes Pepperdine, for parents that are, maybe on the East Coast, Midwest, Southeast area of the country, talk a little bit about what makes the Pepperdine campus so spectacular, both athletically, academically, and obviously the campus.
Yeah, I think first and foremost it's the location. Being Malibu is right on the Pacific Ocean, but the climate is perfect for all the seasons, especially for baseball being outdoors. Our pitchers are throwing in shorts and a t-shirt in January when we get back before the season starts. We don't have to have an indoor facility when we start back up. We are out on the field 365 days a year, and walking to class in very minimal layers of clothing. But secondly, about the people, when you come to campus, it starts at the top of the president and making sure that this place is a community and family type atmosphere. Students, faculty, staff, professors, our athletic department is all about relationships, and not just here, but on after people leave here. And for the students, it's after graduation. The relationships that are built here will last long after the time that's here. And so when I came on my interview here 2 years ago, I knew that this was a place that I was going to be impacted by myself and my family, but I also knew that I could make a major impact in the student athletes that I was going to be able to coach. And that is something that is why I'm in college coaching. And so anybody that comes in contact with Pepperdine knows that they're going to have people that are invested in them, and not just as a student athlete, not just as a student, not just as a person, but as a full capacity, faith, academics, person, all of it. It's a full encompassing criteria here at Pepperdine that people actually want to get to know who you are and impact you in a positive manner, so that you grow our faith and our ethos of being a very positive influence on our people in our community.
I'm very envious being in the Northeast, and you say we're out in shorts and T-shirts in January. I'm sure many people would like to run there, and during those months when we're living in a world that's still 40 until May 1st.
Sure.
One of the things I would love to talk about is the academic acumen. I know you're going to be participating in the Showball California events. Talk a little bit about, that academic athlete. What is it as far as whether it's majors, study, curriculum that makes Pepperdine such an intriguing academic university for potential student athletes? Yeah,
I think for the most part in my experience here, I went to a UC school. I went to UC Davis, and so I was in a lecture hall with anywhere from 200 to 400 other students, and it was a professor just lecturing to us. And the professor didn't know who I was. I could have missed class and no one would even notice that I wasn't there. And the education that you're going to get at Pepperdine in a classroom of 10 to 20, sometimes even less, is going to be a education that you're going to use in your everyday life. The professors are invested in you not just to get good grades, but to actually learn the information, and learn the useful information that is going to help you in whatever area that you're interested in. Students don't just come here to just take the courses to get good grades and get the diploma. They're here to learn the information, build relationships, not only with their professors, with their and relationships with their classmates, but also just really engulf themselves in things that they love. And the education piece of it is that our students will walk out of here with a first-class education in life, and they will be prepared for whatever life is going to bring them. And most of the time, that is not even what they're doing in their job. It's what they're doing with their husband or wife, their husband or daughter. They're prepared to deal with the ups and downs of what is life after, college, which is we call real life. You're out on your own, and you have a job which you're prepared for, but you're also prepared for the other stuff in life that is going to, have those ups and downs. So the academics here is a very, very high level because of the attention to detail that the professors have. Because, like I said before, the vision of the president, the vision of our senior administration, and it trickles down to the professors. It trickles down to our students. That this is a university of higher education and a university of excellence, and so that's what we strive for. And that is what Pepperdine is, and that's what it will be. And I think that goes hand in hand with our athletics because of what we're doing on the field, on the court, in the swimming pool, on the track, any type of athletic. Our athletic department is off the charts, and I think it goes to all of the things that we say we want to do is be excellent in all walks of life.
So, you're a former student athlete that played at the collegiate level. You're from Northern California. Now you're at Pepperdine. Talking a little bit about the West Coast Conference. Can you talk with a lot of parents in the Southeast, East Coast, Midwest? They don't have a lot of familiarity outside of the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, ACC. What is the WCC conference really all about with regard to week in and week out during conference play? I know you played Portland this past weekend, and I watched a lot of those games. Talk a little bit about that conference and what you need to be ready for as a incoming student athlete.
Yeah, our conference is on the upward trajectory. 2 years from now, we're going to be adding UC Santa Barbara and UC San Diego to our conference. Which are two, at the top right now, first place and third place in the Big West. So, but you also add, University of San Diego and University of Portland, and you've got, predominantly over the last, 10 years, the WCC has been a basketball conference, which it still is. With Gonzaga leaving to the new Pac-12, the conference realignments have allowed us to go out and get some other schools to come in to make our conference stronger. But in my opinion, the baseball conference of the West Coast Conference is really, really strong, and you can see that with the competitiveness of the standings right now, and you can see that. We are all, from second to seventh place in the conference. I think there's only 2 games or 3 games. Yeah, 3 games missing within, striking distance of making the conference tournament. And there's obviously some coaches that have, myself and Reed Peters over at UOP. We're in our second year, and we are, rebuilding, but also at the same time we're moving, we're moving towards getting, obviously getting into the conference tournament. So I think every single weekend is about preparing your players for really, really high level pitching. But you also have to be able to travel your offense. Here at Pepperdine, we have a very offensive, pitcher friendly, but also, some days the offense can, get the ball out of the yard. But there's also some places where you're going to have to score 10 runs to win. So you're going to have to win on Friday 2-1 against a first rounder on Friday night against Santa Clara. But you're also going to have to go to the conference tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona, and put up 10 to 12 runs. So at the same time, sorry about that.
That's okay. Showing the yard and all the care and comfort that the yard gets. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's our trainers. So our conference tournament is in Scottsdale, and so you never know. You might have to score 15 runs, so your offense has to travel. So you have to have some balance with the lineup. You also have to have really good starting pitching and a good back end bullpen. So I think if you look at our conference as a whole, it's a really, really good balance. It's not just a bunch of offensive teams with not a lot of good pitching. It's not a lot of good pitching. There's a lot of small ball. It's a good mixture of both. So I'm really happy with where our conference is heading. It's a lot more competitive than it has been in the past. I've been in the Mountain West as an assistant coach. I've been in the WAC as an assistant coach, and I'm really happy with where the WCC is heading.
One of the things that I want to get answered and add clarity to for parents is, at an event like Showball, when you're there evaluating potential student athletes, now as you're further into your coaching career, now as a head coach, what are some of the separating tools that you use as a staff that kind of identify players, from a physicality perspective, or maybe a skill set separator, whether that's, foot speed, athleticism? What are some of the things that you're looking for to identify that may be a potential fit at Pepperdine?
Yeah, I think for the most part, you try to you separate some key aspects to this game. On the position player side, I think it's really, really important on the offensive side that you want, like I said earlier, versatility. You want a player that can play multiple positions, especially on the with the new 34-man roster. You want to be able to have some guys that maybe can play infield and outfield. We have a couple players right now that can catch and play in the outfield too, so you have some versatility. But offensively, we really strive to have players that can hit doubles. And what I mean by that is, obviously you want some guys that can hit the ball off the wall and get a double, hit the ball over the fence, and that's 2 doubles. But you also have to have some guys that can, lay down a bunt and then steal second. That's a double. You have to have some baseball IQ to know that the right fielder is playing a little deeper, and they read a ball over the right fielder's head and know that he's playing a little bit deep, and right off the bat they're going first to third. That's a double. So you're looking for those intangibles, but right off the bat at an event like Showball, you're looking for instincts. You're looking for if arm strength is not a plus, well, you're looking for that internal clock of a shortstop. You're looking for that. You're looking for that. That timing mechanism of okay, I've got the ball in my glove, I got to get rid of it. Okay, the base runner is not too fast, so I can take my time on this play. The ball wasn't hit too hard, so you're looking for that internal clock. Usually on the corners, you're looking for someone that's got a little bit more, a little bit more size. But you can look at a player, and you can look. You trust your strength coach. You trust that when they come in through the development process, that they're going to be able to put on weight and functional weight that they can translate 2 and 3 years down the road. Here at Pepperdine, I do believe that we're going to build this through high school players, and then be able to go into the transfer portal and through junior colleges and be able to, plug in the areas that we see best fit. But we have 10 freshmen on this year's team. This past weekend, you said you watched us play. We had 4 freshmen in the lineup, and we have 8 freshmen coming in next year. That also means that as we go along, we're going to be filtering in. Have guys drafted or some holes to fill. We'll go to the transfer portal or go to the JUCO routes, but at the same time, going to that event, you're looking for intangibles. You're looking for those intangibles, but you're also looking for specific areas that meet your needs. I think at Pepperdine, you have to bring your glove every day. There's only one DH. So we really recruit the middle of the field: catcher, shortstop, second base, center field. And then from there, you build outward. And so if you're playing on corner, first, third, right field, left field, you really better be able to hit. And in the middle, you really better be able to defend at a high level. I think we're top 5 in the country at turning double plays. That's something that we really, really strive for. And when we're going to events like Showball, I'm really trying to identify those tools that are going to play well with us, which is defense, being the ability to hit a double, and we call those waves doubles, which is either the power to hit a double or more, or the speed and the intangible, the baseball IQ to know what a double is for them, which is self-awareness, and knowing who they are. And then on the pitching side is pitchability, the ability to throw strikes, some projectability in the body, the ability to throw off-speed pitches for strikes, secondary pitches for strikes. As soon as you have a pitcher on the mound that can do that, it makes the fastball better. You're looking for outlier pitches too. Swings and misses in the strike zone is something that we track too, especially in the recruiting process. Anybody in the high school level can get swings and misses outside the strike zone, especially with where amateur hitting is. So we look for swings and misses in the strike zone. So those are just a little tidbit about what I'm looking for when I go to events like Show Ball.
One of the topics that I was hoping you could kind of discuss a little bit is a lot of parents they think that college coaches just recruit statistics and, batting average and things of that nature. But could you talk a little bit about, as a hitter, particularly at the high school level, you have to have A, strike zone awareness, and B, you have to have limited swing and miss, meaning you have to have good, consistent ball strike capability. Can you talk about the importance of that at the college level, understanding that level of pitching is superior to any level you're going to see in high school, and why strike zone awareness and ball strike skills are really significant over and above batting average from a high school perspective?
You hit the nail on the head. Swing and miss only gets increased as the level goes higher. And so if you have swing and miss in high school, it's only going to get worse, not worse, but it's only going to go higher in college, and then it's going to go higher in pro ball. I think, obviously our season is a tale of two halves. Our non-conference, we had a tough non-conference. We played some high-level schools, and it prepared us for conference. And now we are, we're playing a lot better baseball. And one of those reasons is we started striking out a lot less. We had better strike zone awareness. We got on time for the fastball a lot better, which allowed us to see the ball and chase a lot less. And so we created more of an identity offensively to be putting the ball in play at a higher rate. So when we go and recruit any hitter for that matter, we want not just to put the ball in play. I mean, just, on an 0-0 pitch, just tapping it to the shortstop, that's one thing. But having the awareness to know the strike zone, know who you are as a hitter, what you handle well, what pitches we're looking for against the pitcher, knowing the scouting report. I mean, when you get to college, let alone pro ball, there's so much information out there now that we can set up a hitter report. We can set up a scouting report on a pitcher, and we can know exactly what we're looking for. And we can go and attack a certain zone, a certain pitch. And knowing those things, we want to give our hitters the best opportunity for success. Is that always going to happen? No, but if we can do that, if we can swing at the right pitch and we can be on time for it, nothing else. We shouldn't be discouraged going into the next at bat. But we want to create in a training area in the fall, and as we get ready for a weekend, we want to put our players in situations where they're having to make a decision on a pitch, yes or no, in an instant like that. And so we try to train that so that they're making the right decision, which is not always going to happen, but they're making the right decision more often than not. As you know, and as everybody knows, hitting is hard. And everybody talks about how, hitting 300 is getting up 7 out of 10 times. I think of breaking it down to, I don't think baseball is a game of failure. I truly believe every pitch is a 50-50 proposition. The pitcher has a 50-50 chance to win the pitch. The hitter has a 50-50 chance to win the pitch. And that's the battle within the battle that hitters and pitchers need to, and teams and players need to go about every single day. So as a hitter, we need to try to make sure that we have a plan, we go about it, and we go pitch to pitch on what we're looking for, how we are on time for it, and if we're making the right decision swinging at it. And in high school, if you swing and miss at a lot of pitches, that's only going to get worse as you face for pitching. So if you have good hand-eye coordination and you have the ability to put on weight, the work ethic to go to a college and work at it and get the right coaching and develop, that's where you'll start seeing the dividends work on the field. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for players that have good hand-eye coordination, that have good strike zone awareness, that have projectable tools that fit our mold, that fit what we're looking for, that fit Pepperdine academics, and that will work at it to see what they can do on the field.
So finally, if a student athlete has a sincere interest in Pepperdine, how do you prefer to be contacted? Is it direct through email, or is it a social media interaction? In today's world, some coaches are really tech savvy. I am not. But how do you generally prefer to get that initial interest from a potential student athlete?
I'm all of it. I'm on X. I'm on Instagram. I have emails. It's probably a downfall, but I enjoy the interactions. I enjoy the relationships. I'm an open, honest book. I will be honest. Like if a 2026 grad it inquires about the program, I'll let them know about our program, but I'll also be honest with them about, hey, like it's pretty late in the game, and there's probably not a fit here, but let me know if I can help you in any way. But I'm open on all platforms: email, X, Instagram, all social media. I'm on FieldLevel. I want to help baseball players get to the right fit. I went to UC Davis was a Division II when I went to school. My freshman year of Division II, transitioning to Division I, and I tried out for baseball. I went there to go to school, and I got an opportunity because the coaches saw something in me that I didn't even know I had. And I turned that into a 10-year professional career, and now I'm the head coach at Pepperdine. So I got an opportunity because coaches saw something in me, and I found the right fit. So if I can help student athletes get to the right fit, that's ultimately why I feel like I'm in this game. And obviously I'm here at Pepperdine, and I want our players to experience everything that I experienced in college baseball and all the winning that we did and the adversity we went through. And I want to be there for our players, but I also want to help players find the right fit. And you never know where that's going to be, whether it's junior college, NAIA, Division III, Division II, Division I. 3 years ago, I was at a NAI, or 3 years ago, I was at an NAI school, and we won the national championship. And it was, those players have lifelong friendships and memories they will share with their grandkids because they believed in something. And if they were in the D1 or bust era and they wanted to go to all these different schools, we had Division I players all over the field on that team. But they did something so special because they believed in each other, they believed in what we were doing, and they won the national championship. So all levels are just so amazing, but you have to find the right fit. And if I can help that just by communicating with someone on any level of social media or email, I would love to do it.
I'm going to sneak this last question in because you really touched on a great topic, and this is the last question, but I really appreciate your response to that last question. How can you help families? Obviously it's the student athlete, but a lot of time it's about managing expectations. You get to college, you're not playing right away. This school stinks, I'm not playing, or he thinks I stink because I'm not playing. How can you best prepare high school athletes to really understand how to manage expectations at the collegiate level, because it's so different than high school? And then obviously pro ball is much different than college. Managing expectations in steady mindset, proactive mindset, and the significance of that.
Well, first of all, you have to have self-awareness. You have to know, why are you not seeing the field? What am I not doing in practice? What am I not preparing for? What am I, who's in front of me? How can I get better? When I was playing, in the minor leagues, like I was a backup catcher. And, I was a 5th-year senior sign, and I knew that when I was going to get my opportunity, I didn't want to not be prepared. So I worked harder than the guy that was starting every day. And so I didn't want to have an opportunity to play and then make the excuse, well, I haven't played in a week. So that's why I wasn't ready and prepared. So you have to have the self-awareness of understanding, why am I not, what is the coach not put in the line? Okay. But you all have to have truth tellers in your life. You have to have people telling you the truth. And if you don't have truth tellers, in your life, you have to seek them out. If you have a problem, you have to go talk to the coach. Like, you have to have enough, I don't know how to say it, but
grit.
Go, yeah, grit, whatever you want to call it. Like if you want the truth to be told to you, go talk to the coach, and you have to be okay with whatever they tell you. If they tell you that you're just not good enough, then you have to be okay with it, and you have to go to work. And if you're not okay with what they tell you, then prove them wrong. And that's what this life is about. If someone's telling you can't do something, go prove them wrong. Don't go to your parents and say, well, he's telling me that I'm not good enough, and he's this, that, and the other, and not do anything about it. So I think you have to have self-awareness. You have to have truth tellers in your life. And finally, you just have to do the work. This game is hard. And it's not all about performance all the time, but at some point you have to perform. And it's really hard to perform when you have doubt, when you have people always telling you that you're the best, when really there's a lot of players out there. When you have people telling you that you're the best when everybody else is the best, it's, at some point you're playing against the best, so you better be better. And so I think it's really important that you have all of those things in your life so that you can rise above and you can elevate. Because once you go from high school to college, you have to elevate, and you have to elevate fast, because now you have to continue to get better each and every day, because guess what? The class after you is going to be good, and the recruiting class is going to be good, and the transfer portal is going to be good, and the group that's around you is going to be good. And if you're not getting better every day, you're getting behind. And so I think it's not so much this era or this generation. I think it has a lot to do with, and I'm a father, so I can say this, it has a lot to do with parenting. I think we need to make sure that we are telling our kids the truth, and putting people around them that are going to tell them the truth, and not just going to tell them what's nice and what is going to make them feel good. I think we need to tell them the truth. I also think we need to have coaches that are also going to tell the truth, and not just try to keep people around to not let them go to the portal. I think we need to be a lot more honest with people.
Well, I knew you were going to give that answer, and it's really refreshing to hear that directly from a college coach. And I truly, Tyler, appreciate it. I know we're in season. I know it's a busy time of the year, and I really appreciate you taking the time today to join me. And I know that parents, if you're looking to find out a little bit about Pepperdine, show ball out in California, Tyler will be there. Coach LaTorre will be out there. And I strongly suggest that if you have the opportunity to kind of get his attention for a couple minutes and discuss Pepperdine, its future within the WCC, as well as college baseball overall, I strongly suggest it. Tyler, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today.
Thank you.